topic, we will first see what Swiflearn is. So by now, as you already know, that Swiflearn is the India's most sincere learning destination for classes 1 to 10. Over here, all the classes are 100% live and interactive classes. You can ask any sort of doubt or confusion regarding the topic in your classes only, and the teacher will explain everything to you. Right. Secondly, we give personalized attention to each and every students to our batches, because our batches consist of maximum number of 6 students, not more than that, which help us to keep an eye on each and every student of our batches, as well as the students can ask any sort of doubt, they can interact properly in the classes only. Right. Yes. So now coming to the third point which we have is, we have a very good dedicated academic mentor team who continuously track and work on the students progress. So how the student is doing their homework, how they are doing in the classwork, how they are understanding the different topics, in which topic they are lagging. So everything is tracked by this mentor team, and they will give you the feedback so that you can improve yourself, right? And the fourth thing which is very important, that we cover the syllabus as per your school examination schedule, and also we handle the custom request. So whatever topic is going on in your school, you can ask us to do those topic first, and then we will move on to the rest of the topic. So this type of custom request generally we handle. So these are all the different general features of Swiflearn, and let us now find out what are the key features of Swiflearn. Right. Now, coming to the key features, the very first one is we maintain the detailed progress report of each and every student. So, how you are doing the homework, whether you are doing the homework properly or not, whether you are attending the classes properly or not, what is your grasping capacity, how is your understanding capacity, and how you are doing all the different practice tests, whether in one topic you were lagging or not, in which topic you were already perfect. So these are all tracked, and accordingly this progress reports goes to you and your parents, so that you will be able to understand what is going on, as well as when the PTM, generally we uh, discuss all these things with the parents, so that you will be able to improve yourself better. Right, you can improve yourself, and you will not never lose any of the marks in the school exam. Right, and obviously you will be able to understand all the concepts clearly. Now, coming to the second thing which we have, it is the Swiflearn's academic test series, which in short we call as the SATs, which happen every Sunday from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., where you will be able to perform, and you will. This is one type of Olympiad type of test. It is all over India. You will perform, and you will be able to see what is your rank. Okay, all over India. Now coming to the third feature which we have is, there are the unlimited practice test of each and every topics of all the subjects you will get, and just after completing each of the topic, you can write down the question answer, you can solve all types of question answer again and again. So most of this question answer is objective types as well as the subjective type. In case of the objective type question, definitely you will get like the MCQs, the true false, one word, filling the blanks, match the column, these types of question. And in case of the subjective question, definitely you will be able to write down the answer, and you can upload the diagram whenever it is needed, mainly for the biology, right? As well as you can upload the graph whenever needed, or you can write down the chemical equations in case of chemistry, and so on, so that you will be able to understand how to write the subjective answers properly. So it happens sometimes, Hannah, ki you are already you already know about the concept, the total subject, you know about the total concept, it's totally clear to you, but while writing the answer, you are missing some of the key points or the key words, right? So we have a very good group of teachers who will tell you how to write the answer, so that if you will never lose any marks while writing it in the school exam as well as the board exam, right? Isn't it very nice? Right. So what you have to do by for experiencing all these things, you have to book a free trial class of Swiflearn and experience all these features of Swiflearn. So now, as you already know, that the new session is going to begin, and admission is definitely going on, so please book a free trial class and take the trial class and enroll over here. Right. So as you already, I know most of you have subscribed, so those who have not subscribed yet, so please subscribe our channel in YouTube and press the bell icon, so that you will never miss any of the update of the upcoming classes. right? So please stay with Swiflearn, stay with us, and learn with us. So please like, comment, and share this with your friends and family members, right? Okay, now let us move on to our topic of discussion. So as I have already said that we were doing the biological topic, which the very first topic we have already done, and the first session of the cell we have already done, right? So this is the second session of the chapter cell, the unit of life, as you already know. And what is cell, what are the need of the cell, where the cells are present, whether it is present in both living things or the non-living things, or only the living things, what is the different shape of the cells, and also the size of the cells. These we have already discussed in the previous session, remember? Yes. Okay. Now what we will study in today's session is mainly we will study about what is present within the cell. Fine. So what do you think that what are present within the cell? Mainly the nucleus, that is the brain of the cell, the main important cell organelle which is present within the cell. Then we will study about the different types of cells based on the presence or absence of a true nucleus. Clear hai? So what are the different types of cells, or how we can categorize the various types of cells based on whether they have a proper nucleus or not, right? We will study that one. Then we will study about the fluid which is present within the cell, that is the cytoplasm. Fine. So we will study what is cytoplasm, how it looks like, what is the consistency of that, and what are the chemicals sometimes which present definitely within that, and what is the main function of cytoplasm. Clear hai? Then we will study about the cell organelles, and under this cell organelles we will mainly discuss three of the cell organelles today in today's session. These are the endoplasmic reticulum. In short, we call it as the ER. Okay, so second one is the Golgi bodies or Golgi apparatus, and the third one is the lysosomes. So these are the three main cell organelles which we will discuss today. Okay, so I guess you all are ready. Yeah, and as you already know that while doing the class I will ask more and more questions to you. I will give you the questions, so I will expect all the answer in the chat box, right? So whenever I'll get the chat answers in the chat box, and the person or the student who will give me most of the answers in the chat box, definitely he or she will be the student of the session. Okay, and I will write his or her name on the screen at the end of the session. Okay. Hi Himanshu. Okay, thank you. Okay, chalo. So let's start with today's session. So I already have told you what is cell, what is the structure of the cell, where cells are present. Now let us see the cell in a different way. Okay, so let us first start with a story. So I guess, have you ever seen in a company what happened in a company? So basically the boss is the top authority, and he or she decides what type of products has to be made over there, okay, in a company. Now he or she tells the worker how much of these products are needed, how much to be made, and even how many employers are to be hired or how many employers are to be fired, right? So sometimes the boss might need more workers in one process, and other even bigger number of another process also, right? So the similar type of thing also happen within the cell. So when you will see the cell under the microscope, you will see a very prominent thing which is present within the cell. So do you know which part of the cell actually carry out all this function? Who actually takes the authority of the whole functioning of the cell? Any idea? Yes, Himanshu, will you be able to say beta? Yes, so there is also something which is present within the cell which takes up the authority of all the working within the cell, right? And they control, or it control, to be very specific, all the functioning of the cell. So what is that present within the cell, which actually is also known as the brain of the cell, and which helps the cell to perform all the different activities properly? So what is it? It is the nucleus. Okay, so nucleus is the brain of the cell, or we will say that which is present within the cell, which is also known as the control center of the cell. So over here you can see that the nucleus is the control center of the cell, which actually regulates all the different processes which are happening within the cell. Clear hai? So this nucleus is very important cellular organelle which is present within the cell. Fine. So this is a specific structure of the nucleus which is given over here. So you can see this in the screen, I guess. है ना? So over here you can see that there is a membrane which is totally covering the nucleus. So what is it called? This is known as the nuclear membrane. Okay, you can see this is known as the nuclear membrane. Fine. So let me mark it as number 1, the first part of the nucleus. Fine. Now, if you see within the nucleus, you will find the second important part, which is known as nucleolus. Okay. So, what is nucleolus? It is a dense and condensed structure which is present within the nucleus. Fine. So, this is the second part of a proper nucleus. Okay, so always keep it in mind that I am talking about a true nucleus or a proper nucleus, or we can say an advanced nucleus. Clear hai? Now coming to the third part which is present over inside the nucleus. So inside the nucleus you can see these thread-like structures, right? These thread-like structures you can see over there, right? So what are these? These are the chromatin fibrils, okay? So these are the chromatin fibers or the diffuse chromatin fiber. Okay, this is the third part of the nucleus which is present. Okay, and the fourth part which is present within the nucleus as the just a jelly like structure is known as karyoplasm. Okay, or it has another name, that is nucleoplasm. Okay, the nucleoplasm or the karyoplasm is the liquid or the fluid which is present within the nucleus. So these are the four main parts of the nucleus. Always keep it in mind. What are the four main parts of the nucleus? The nuclear membrane, please write it down. If you are asked what are the main parts of the nucleus, what you will say? First is the nuclear membrane. Second one is the nucleolus. Third one is the nucleoplasm, that is the fluid. And the fourth one is the chromatin fibers. Okay, so these are the four main parts of a proper true nucleus. Okay, if I say to be very specific, these are the four parts of a true nucleus which is present within the eukaryotic cell. We will come to know what are the eukaryotic cell. Okay, so these are the proper things. Now apart from this, you can see there are the various pores which are present in the nuclear membrane. So these pores are known as the nucleopores or nuclear pores, and sometimes the chromatin fibers are found in the condensed way, condensed structure. Some types of granules are also present within the nucleus, and fibrils are also present within the nucleus. So these are the secondary structure, or we can say that these are the different materials which are present within the nucleus. But the main four parts of the nucleus are nucleolus, nuclear membrane, the chromatin fibers, and the nucleoplasm. So up to this much clear hai na? If you have any question, please write it on the chat box. Okay. So I guess if you get a question, what are the type of parts of the nucleus, you will be able to answer. Right. Now let us move on the structure of the nucleus in detail. So I have already mentioned what are the different parts of the nucleus. So the nucleus is what? It is totally a dense and spherical organelle which is present within the cell. right? So if you think about the CPU, you are working on the computer or a desktop, right? So CPU is what? It is the brain of the computer, we can say, right? Because it is a control unit which continuously control all the processing whatever is going on within the computer. So the similar thing happen inside our cell also. So within our cell, who is the brain of the cell? The nucleus, right? So nucleus is the brain of the cell who is continuously controlling all the vital functioning of the cell. Clear? So the nucleus is a dense structure. Now within the nucleus is surrounded by a membrane which is known as the nuclear membrane. Already I have said within the membrane there are certain pores which are known as the nuclear pores. Already I have mentioned. And the fluid which is present within the nucleus is known as the nucleoplasm. Plasm matlab fluid. Always keep it in mind, right? You have already studied the cytoplasm, है ना? Yes, which is present within the cell. Just outside the nucleus, it is cytoplasm, and inside the nucleus, it is nucleoplasm. So it is easy for you to remember. Yes. Hi Anubhav, how are you? I'm fine, beta. Okay. Now the nucleus contain the chromosomes. So what are the chromosomes? We have studied about the chromatin. So what about the chromosomes? Yes. So you have to keep it in mind the main difference between the chromosome and chromatin. So whenever these are present within this nucleus as a thread-like structure, we call it as the chromatin. Now during the cell division, when these chromatin fibers are condensed to form the very condensed structure like this X-shaped structure, we call this as the chromosome. So these X-shaped structures are known as the chromosome and the thread-like structures are known as the chromatin. Yes, Anubhav, what is nucleus? Nucleus is the brain of the cell and which is present within the cell. So this nucleus is having the nucleolus, nuclear membrane. Within the membrane, they have the different pores and the nucleoplasm, that is the fluid within the nucleus. And we are talking about the chromosomes which are present within the nucleus. Okay, Anubhav, got it? Now, within the chromosome, they contain the genes. What do you mean by genes? Genes are certain region on the DNA which carry the inherited characters from one generation to other. Right? So whenever we are carrying the different characteristic features are carried from the parents to offspring, they are carried through the genes. So they actually carry the genetic information, or in total we can say that the chromosomes are mainly the carrier of or center of the genetic information which carry the different genetic information from the parents to the offspring. Fine. So this is very important. Yes. Up to this much clear hai na? Okay. Now, let us now focus mainly on the chromatin. So, I have already said about the chromatin and chromosome. So, these are the two words which will have the similar type of chemical composition, but their structures are different. So, what is the main difference between this chromatin and chromosome? I have already mentioned that chromatin is the thread-like structure. The thread-like structure which is present mainly within the nucleus is known as the chromatin. And what do you mean by chromosome? When these chromatin fibers are condensed to form this X-shaped structure, we call it as the chromosome. Clear hai? So chemical structure or chemical composition will same, okay, but only the structure is different. So over here we can see that the chromatin organizes to form the chromosome whenever the cell is about to divide. Very important information. This one is we can generally see the thread-like structure which I have already drawn over here as the chromatin fiber in rest of the cell cycle. But when is the cell totally uh, totally matured for formation of the chromosome for the division, then only we can see that chromosome. Okay, so we can see the chromosome during the cell division. Hi Tanesh, how are you? Yeah, definitely I remember you. How are you, beta? Okay, so this is the cell division. ठीक है. So during the cell division we can see this condensed structure, that is chromosome, but in rest of the time we can see the thread like structure which are chromatin. After this much totally clear, Hannah? Any confusion? Okay, let's move on. So another structure which we have seen within the nucleus is nucleolus. So what do you mean by nucleolus? Like I have already said that the cell is having a brain which is the nucleus. Now the nucleus is also having another brain that is known as the nucleolus. Okay, so it is called as the brain of the nucleus. Fine. So what happens within the nucleolus? Mainly it consists of the protein and RNA. RNA matlab ribonucleic acid. Always remember the full form of the RNA. Yeah, hi. Yes. Yeah, how are you? Thank you. Okay. Chalo. So the nucleolus consists of 25% of the volume of the nucleus. Fine. So it mainly contains the protein and RNA. Fine. And it helps in the formation of the ribosomes, which help in the formation of the protein so inside the cell. So you already know that all the different parts of the cells are having their different functions. So over here the ribosome is another cellular organelle. I have already mentioned in the previous session that ribosome is another cellular organelle which is helping in the process of production of protein, right? The formation of protein or the protein synthesis is the main function of the ribosome. Now, who is going to give ribosome or give rise to ribosome? That is the nucleolus. Fine. Yes, beta, you were asking what is prophase. Yes, prophase, metaphase, anaphase, and telophase. These are the different phases of the mitosis and meiosis. Fine. Okay. So, if I get to know about the what is your actual name, it's my yard. So it will be better. Okay. Yeah, so that is the nucleus. Okay, so this is all about the nucleolus. This is the structure of the cell. Within the cell you can see the nucleus, and within the nucleus you can see the nucleolus. So within the nucleolus what are present? There are the different types of granules which are present within the nucleolus, as well as the fibrillous centra. You can see over here the rRNA transcription is taking place. So you will come to know what is this transcription, replication and translation in the higher grades. In class 10th you will come to know. Okay, so I'm not going into the detail of it. Fine. I'm just mentioning whatever is present within the nucleolus. Fine. So the dense fibrils are also present within the nucleolus. I guess up to this much clear, Hannah? Yes. Okay. Now, have you ever heard of the name nucleoid? Yes. If yes, can you please tell me what is nucleoid? Yes, we don't mix up these all terms, that is nucleolus, nucleus, nucleoid. These seems to be very similar, but they are a lot different from each other. Okay, so can you please tell me what do you mean by nucleoid? Anybody? Yes, it's my ear. Akshita, Tanishk, very sorry. Yes, Himanshu, Anubhav, will you be able to tell me what is nucleoid? Yes. What is nucleoid and where can we find this nucleoid? Is it exactly the same to the nucleus or it is different from the nucleus? Yes. Okay. Yes, you asked me what is fibrilla. Fibrilla means a fibril-like structures which are present within anything is known as fibrilla. Okay. So sometimes some cells are there which do not have a proper nucleus. Like proper nucleus matlab all the nuclear membrane, nucleolus, nuclear material, whatever nucleoplasm is present, all the whole structure is not present. That type of structures we generally find in the bacteria and the blue green algae. Fine. So this type of structures are known as the nucleoid. Generally, nucleoid is an irregularly shaped region. Yes, Tanish, very good. Within the prokaryotic cell. Very good. This is what we will come to discuss now. Fine. So the chromosome of the prokaryotic cells are circular and they do not have a proper type of nucleus, right? So this type of nucleus without a proper boundary or without the well defined different parts of the nucleus is known as the nucleoid. We generally find them within the bacteria and blue green algae. Fine. Now can you tell me the function of the nucleus in your own words? Yes. But a centrosome is something different. This is another cellular organelle which is present mainly in the animal cell, helps in the cell division. Okay, beta? Got it? Okay, chalo. So can you tell me anybody what are the function of the nucleus? Any one or two or three function if you can say. Let me see who can give me the correct answer. Yes, Tanishk, you were so correct. So let me see what are the functions of nucleus, right? So first of all, definitely it controls the whole activity of the cell. Okay, it is the brain of the cell and it has the control about whatever the cell wants to do. Secondly, it regulates the whole cell cycle. Clear hai? Thirdly, the nucleus is the storehouse of the gene. All the genes are present within the nucleus in the chromosome or the chromatin fiber, which help in transmitting the different hereditary units from the hereditary characters from the parent to the offspring. Right? Very good, Tanishk. Yes, the nucleus controls and regulate the activity of the cell. Very good. Growth, metabolism. Very good, very good. And carries the gene structure that contain the hereditary information. Very good. And nucleoli are small bodies which are present within the nucleus. Very good. So your answer is totally correct. So these are the main function of the nucleus. Got it? So if you get a question of what are the functions of nucleus for 2 marks or 3 marks, you have to mention all these 4 points. Fine. Okay, now let us move on to what is known as prokaryotic and what is known as eukaryotic. So you have already got an idea what is the nucleus, right? So depending upon whether the nucleus is true nucleus or a primitive type of nucleus, we can divide the different types of cells into two main categories. What are they? Prokaryotic and eukaryotic. So some cells are prokaryotic which do not have a proper nucleus. Okay, when the cells are not having the proper nucleus matlab the nuclear membrane, the nucleolus, the nucleoplasm and the definite chromatin materials whatever is present within the nucleus is not present, then these types of cells are known as the prokaryotic cell. Now, I would like to tell you to break this word prokaryote. Okay. So, pro matlab what? Pro matlab primitive. Okay. So, pro matlab primitive and karyotic comes from the word karyon which means nucleus. So over here if we combine these two words we will find that it means the primitive nucleus, means the nucleus is not at all advanced, it is primitive which were present in very early days and definitely not this much complicated bodies like human body, right? So the old type of nucleus, very good Tanishk, the old type of nucleus is present in the prokaryotic cell, that is the primitive nucleus having no true nucleus. Okay, and the eukaryotic cell are having the well defined proper nucleus. You can see over here the picture. So this is the prokaryotic cell having, see, just a nucleoid. This is the nucleoid. They are not having a proper boundary, the nuclear envelope या फिर nuclear pore or the nucleoplasm. These are not at all present in the prokaryotic cell. है ना? Understood ना? And in case of the eukaryotic cell, we can see a proper nucleus at the center of the cell having the chromosomes inside it. They are having the nuclear like nuclear membrane outside it. You can see this is the nuclear membrane, and definitely the structure, the fluid structure which is present within the nucleus is the nucleoplasm. Clear hai na? So when everything is present within the cell, those cells will come under the eukaryotic cell, a proper well defined nucleus. So eukaryotic cell, if we just divide this word again into two, then you matlab true. Okay, always remember you matlab true, and karyotic again will come from the word karyon, which means nucleus. So whenever the cell is having a true nucleus or a well defined nucleus, then we will say that those cells are known as the eukaryotic cell. Clear hai? Now let us move on to some of the examples. So what will be the examples of the prokaryotic cell? Definitely bacteria will come under prokaryotic cell, है ना? So other than bacteria, we can say that blue green algae will come under this prokaryotic cell. Clear hai? Mostly the bacteria and blue green algae are having the primitive type of nucleus. Other than this, all the higher level of plants and animals, higher plants and animals are having this eukaryotic cells. Like, you can, if you want to give some examples, so definitely starting from the very small unicellular animal, that is the amoeba, human being, cow, dog, any sort of trees like the mango trees, if you want to say the mango tree, or a very small grass also, these are all having the different types of cells which are eukaryotic cell. Clear hai na up to this much? What is the difference between prokaryotic and eukaryotic cell, and what type of nucleus is present in both of them? Yes, and I guess you are also like got the structure of both the prokaryotic and eukaryotic cell. Okay, so isn't it easy? Very good, Tanish. Example of eukaryotic cells are all plants and animal, protist, fungi. Yes, their genetic material is organized. Very important point. Very good. Very important point you have mentioned. That is, the genetic materials are organized in chromosome. Very good, Tanishk. Okay, chalo. So let us move on to the next. So did you know any your cell are filled with a thick fluid? Do you know what is that fluid known as? Yes, Tanishk. Can you tell me what is the fluid which is present within the cell known as? Okay, let me draw a cell and show you which portion I am mainly explaining to you. Okay, so this is, let this be the plasma membrane, and if it is our cell or any other animal cell, definitely they will have a proper nucleus within it, right? So nucleus ke andar hai nucleolus, nuclear material, the chromatin fibers, and nucleoplasm, and so on. Fine. Now there are the fluid which is present in this region, the fluid which is mainly present in this region outside the nucleus, but inside the inside the plasma membrane. So can you tell me what is that? Very good, very good, Tanishk. This fluid is known as cytoplasm. Okay, so cytoplasm is the fluid which is present within the plasma membrane but outside the nucleus. So always remember some of the terms over here. Again, I am telling you, inside the nucleus, what is the fluid known as? Inside the nucleus, the fluid is known as nucleoplasm, and outside the nucleus, the fluid is known as cytoplasm. Now when this cytoplasm and nucleoplasm, we will add them, when we will add this cytoplasm plus nucleoplasm, do you know what it will form? Yes, cytoplasm plus nucleoplasm is known as protoplasm. So sometimes you get confused between what is protoplasm and what is cytoplasm, and sometimes you write in your answer that protoplasm and cytoplasm are same. No, cytoplasm is present in between this nucleus and the plasma membrane, and nucleoplasm is present within the nucleus, right? Now when the cytoplasm plus nucleoplasm, when we will together combine them, what will form? Protoplasm will be formed. Hi Jonathan, how are you? Yes. What is your actual name, beta? Hi Sailendra, how are you? Okay, so this is all about whatever fluids which are present within our cell. Up to this much clear hai na? Yes. Okay, now let us study in detail about the cytoplasm. So, all the cells are filled up with the fluid which are known as the cytoplasm, and you can see the position of the cytoplasm over here. This is a lymphocyte. Lymphocyte is one type of WBC. Okay, remember lymphocyte is one type of white blood cell, that is WBC. And within this lymphocyte, we can see the whole condensed nucleus, and outside the nucleus, the fluid is known as the cytoplasm. Clear up to this much? Yes. Now we will study what is cytoplasm. If you get for a definition, if you are asked what is cytoplasm for 1 mark, what will you write? Definitely you have to give you a proper definition about cytoplasm. That is, it is a jelly-like, viscous, colorless, semi-fluid substance which occur between plasma membrane and nuclear membrane. Okay, so up to this much from here, from the definition, is it clear to you? It is present between the plasma membrane and the nuclear membrane. Clear hai? And it has some fluid aqueous structure. The ground material which is present within the cytoplasm is known as cytosol. Fine. The ground material or the aqueous material which is present within the cytoplasm is cytosol, and the various types of cellular organelles, whether like the ribosome, lysosome, vacuoles, mitochondria, Golgi bodies, these are all present in the cytoplasm. Fine. So sometimes other than these cell organelles, other things are also present, like the insoluble waste products are also present, storage products are also present, like whatever is needed for our cell for their proper functioning, like the starch, the glycogen, the lipid, these are all present within the cytoplasm. Clear? Yes. Now let us move on to what are the functions of the cytoplasm. So these are the portion which you have to a little bit remember, right? So what is the function of the cytoplasm? What are actually present within the cytoplasm? Batao. क्या present है? Cell organelles present है. So definitely it will support and help the cell organelles to suspend over there. है ना? You will be able to write it on your own, I guess. है ना? Now coming to the second one, the cellular processes. Whatever cellular processes are happening, whatever chemical reactions are happening, or formation of the protein, or the respiration, that is breakdown of the glucose with the help of the oxygen, these are all done by the different cellular organelles. But the cellular organelles are also present within the cytoplasm, right? So various types of chemical reactions are also happening inside the cytoplasm. Clear hai? So respiration takes place mainly in the mitochondria, remember. Okay, so this is the thing where this is the place where the different chemical reactions takes place, and it allows the movement of the various substances to enter within the cell or go out of the cell, like the hormones which are present within the cell, they give the space for them also, and also dissolve the different types of cellular waste materials. Fine. Okay, now let us move on to what are the other cellular organelles which are present suspended in the cytoplasm. So we have already got an idea what is the nucleus and what is the cytoplasm. Now we will study about what are the other different cellular organelles which are present within the cell. Hi FF Gaming, what is your actual name? Okay, chalo. So what are the different cellular organelles which are present within the cell? First one is the plastid. Second one is the endoplasmic reticulum, or in short we call it as ER. Then is the Golgi apparatus or Golgi bodies. Fourth one is the lysosome, then mitochondria, then peroxisome, then the ribosome, then centrioles which are present within the centrosome, and the vacuole. So we will study all these structures which are present within the cell. Okay, so we will study all of them one by one. So today mainly we will study about endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi apparatus and lysosomes. Clear hai? And the next class, in the next session we will study about rest of the cell organelles. Up to this much clear? Hi Vedi, yes I'm fine. How are you? Okay. Now, have you ever visited a factory? So, what happened in the factory? Do you remember? Like, if you uh, go to the factory and notice, you will notice that the largest and the most important area of the factory is the production space, right? Wherever most of the different products are assembled and these are produced. Fine. So, do you know that which cell organelle carry out this type of function? Yes, which cell organelle generally carry out this productions of the different things and assembling the different things? Yes, we will study about a very important system over here, the GERL system. I'll tell you what is GERL system. Okay, this is very interesting. See, over here, first one is the endoplasmic reticulum. So, what is endoplasmic reticulum? You can see if this is the nucleus, it starts from the nucleus as this tube-like and the network-like structure like this, and it extends till the plasma membrane. Okay, so if this is the side view of the endoplasmic reticulum, let me give you a okay, let me draw a cell over here. Okay, this is a cell and this is the nucleus. Okay, let it be the nucleus. Okay, whatever is present within the nucleus. Now, starting from the nucleus, the network-like structure which comes out and extend till the plasma membrane, this type of structures are known as endoplasmic reticulum. Okay, so this is the side view and I have given you a 2D picture which will help you to draw in your examination, right? In your school copy. Fine? Yes, but I am fine, Vidhi. Okay. So this is the endoplasmic reticulum. Okay. Now it is absent in the prokaryotic cell, but definitely it will be present in the eukaryotic cell. You already have an idea what is a prokaryotic cell and what is a eukaryotic cell. So it is mainly absent in the prokaryotic cell and also the matured RBCs of our body. Of all the mammals, not only on a human being, it is the matured RBC of all the mammals are like have do not have this endoplasmic reticulum. Up to this much clear? Okay. Now we will study about the two main types of endoplasmic reticulum. Okay, so if I divide the endoplasmic reticulum into two main types, they will be rough ER and smooth ER. Fine. So what are the rough ER and smooth ER? Okay, let me make it very simple to you by giving you a proper diagram. So whenever the endoplasmic reticulum, okay, this is, let this be one strand of the endoplasmic reticulum. Okay, whenever the endoplasmic reticulums are having ribosome on it, do you think that the surface is totally polished surface and a very smooth surface? No, है ना? You can see over here the surface seems to be like ups and downs, ups and downs, ups and down, up and down, right? This type of rough surface you can see, right? Due to the presence of the ribosome, right? this type of ER is known as the rough ER or rough endoplasmic reticulum. Clear hai? Now, what is the smooth endoplasmic reticulum? This is a type of endoplasmic reticulum which is not having the ribosomes. So when the ribosomes are not present or present on its surface, or it is absent, you can see that a very smooth surface is there, right? There is no up and down and like that thing, right? So this type of ER or the endoplasmic reticulum is known as the smooth endoplasmic reticulum, and they mainly helps in the production of lipid. They secrete the different lipids. So as you already know that ribosome helps in the synthesis of protein. This is the main function of the ribosome. So as the ribosomes are present within the on the endoplasmic reticulum, definitely the function of the RER, that is the rough endoplasmic reticulum, is also the synthesis of the protein. है ना? So the rough ER or rough endoplasmic reticulum का function क्या है? Synthesis of protein. And smooth ER का function क्या है? Secreting the lipid. So have you got the difference between rough ER and smooth ER? Yes. RER and SER? Up to this much clear? Rough ER is having the rough surface due to presence of the ribosome on it, and smooth endoplasmic reticulum is having a smooth surface because of absence of ribosomes on it. Clear hai? Yes. If you were not clear, please write down in the chat box. I'll definitely make all the concepts clear. Fine. Okay. Now let us move on to the functions. What are the different functions of the RBC? Functions of the endoplasmic reticulum. I'm very sorry. So it gives the internal support to the cell, first of all. Secondly, they help in the synthesis and the transportation of protein, as I have already said that the rough endoplasmic reticulum helps in the production of the protein. Then the smooth endoplasmic reticulum helps in the production of the lipids. They help to synthesize the lipid and transport them. And the other function is that endoplasmic reticulum helps in the transport of the various types of substances from the nuclear membrane to the plasma membrane or vice versa. Clear hai? So it actually carries everything towards the from the nuclear membrane to the plasma membrane, and also carry back from the plasma membrane towards the nuclear membrane. So up to this much clear hai na? Yes. Okay. Now let us move on to the next type of cell organelle. So can you tell what is the similarity between a post office and the Golgi apparatus? Yes. Okay. Please think about what actually happened within the post office. क्या होता है post office में? चिट्ठी आते हैं and the mails are coming in the post office different from different parts of the world, we can say. Now after coming the mails are first sorted out कि कौन से region में कौन से mail जाएंगे, right? So these are first sorted out, and then only those mails are sent to the different parts to the specific house where it needs to go, right? So the similar type of thing happens in our cell also, which is done by the Golgi apparatus. Fine. So the mail which is received, they are going to the from the different senders, they are processed, and then they are going to the different recipients, right? So the similar type of thing also happen in case of the Golgi apparatus. What happened? The shipping and the packaging, mainly the packaging of all the different products are done by in the Golgi apparatus, and the shipping, matlab it will be transported to whatever portion of the cell it needs. It will be going to all those portion. Okay, so this is the main thing which will happen in the Golgi apparatus. So now let us find out what is Golgi apparatus. So this is the main structure of the Golgi apparatus. Fine. So who discovered this Golgi apparatus first? It was discovered by Camillo Golgi. For 1 mark question, you can get this type of question. Please write it down. Camillo Golgi first discovered the Golgi apparatus. So it contained the vesicles which are arranged in a parallel stack. Can you see these are the different vesicles? So over here you can see the newly forming vesicles, and just the outer portion over this side will be the old formed vesicles, fine. And in between you can see the vesicles which are flattened, okay, and which are flattened to form one upon another the stack wise, and this stacks are known as the cisternae. Very important thing, these stacks are known as the cisternae, fine. So the tubules, the cisternae, and the different pinched off vehicles you will form. So what is resembles actually? If you think that maida or atta, after you mix it with the like water, it will give a structure. Now you pinch it while making the roti and all, you pinch the very small portion and then you just roll it and then you just fry it or you bake it, right? So the similar type of structure is formed in the Golgi apparatus also. So this you can find as the cisternae, and the small portion which are coming out from the cisternae are known as the vesicles. Fine. So these vesicles have their own membrane. Hi Dattatri, how are you? Okay, so they have their own membranes, and these membranes are sometimes connected to those of the endoplasmic reticulum. So whatever is forming in the endoplasmic reticulum, those will be packaged by the Golgi apparatus. Clear hai? Yes? Okay. Now, what is the function of the Golgi apparatus? Definitely, it will carry the different materials which are synthesized already by the ER, that is the endoplasmic reticulum. So, whatever protein or lipids, whatever is synthesized by the ER, this should go to the different parts of the cell. So, who will package it and transport it? The Golgi apparatus. Fine. So the Golgi apparatus will package and within their vesicles, and they will give them to all the different parts of the cell. Hi Ashi, how are you? Yes, definitely. TSG Gamer, what is your full name? You want to join the Swiflearn? Definitely, you will get the app. Please download the app in your mobile phone, and you will get the contact number of Swiflearn. You will be able to contact over there if you call, and you can take the free trial class. You can observe the class, and definitely you can enroll over there. Okay. Okay, fine. So it actually carries the different materials. Apart from carrying the different materials, the other important function of Golgi apparatus is it helps in the formation of the complex sugar, as well as they help in the formation of the lysosome. Fine. Up to this much clear now? Yes? Okay. So which organelles are involved in the formation of the lysosome? Yes, the Golgi apparatus. Fine. So the Golgi apparatus are forming the different lysosome. So have you ever like you have got an idea like something is prepared within the ER, endoplasmic reticulum. Those are transported after packaging, those are transported with the help of the Golgi apparatus, and they are helping in the formation of the lysosome. So these things, when they are happening step by step, we call this type of complex as the GERL complex. Okay, so G goes for the Golgi apparatus or Golgi bodies. ER, definitely it will go for the endoplasmic reticulum. Okay, and L will go for the lysosome. So they together perform the whole function of the transportation, production, packaging, transportation, and the like the worn out materials are digested by the lysosome. Okay, so the whole thing happens with the help of this GERL system. Clear hai? Okay, now we will study about the last cellular organelle for today's session, that is the lysosome. What are the lysosome? These lysosomes are single membrane brown structure. These are having only one membrane which are responsible for the cleaning of the cell. So how will they clean the cell? If the cell is attacked by different types of bacteria or any sort of foreign bodies, then the lysosomes will produce, and they produce a type of digestive enzyme which is known as hydrolase. Okay, so they will break down those foreign materials and Even the worn out cell membranes are also digested by this lysosome, and that is why they are known as the suicidal bag of the cell. Yes, so this hydrolytic bag, secreting these hydrolytic enzymes, they will digest all the different types of foreign materials as well as the worn out materials or the dead or damaged portions of the cells. Hi Ashe. Okay, so how the lysosomes can digest any foreign material? Definitely, they secrete one type of very important type of enzyme, that is the hydrolytic enzyme. And by secreting this enzyme, they help to break down all the different types of cellular materials, like the worn out cellular materials, and definitely the other foreign bodies which can enter within the cell, and this helps them in digesting all those things, fine. And that is why it is known as the suicidal bags of the cell. So these enzymes break them, and these enzymes are synthesized by RER. Okay, so the rough endoplasmic reticulum are synthesizing this enzyme, then they are packaged by Golgi bodies, and their function is done in the lysosome. Up to this much clear hai na? That is why it is totally known as the GERL system. Fine. Now, let us move on to how it happens. You can see over here the hydrolases, that is the hydrolytic enzyme is known as the hydrolases, which is present. This is the lysosome along with the enzyme. When it will encounter or come in contact with some other bacteria or the other different cells or the autophagosome type of thing, so they will fuse with each other, and whatever worn out materials are needed to digest, they will digest it, and they will release the excretory or whatever is not needed within that. Fine. So this is all about the lysosome. Now let us find out some of the question answer. So this is all about today's session. I hope that you have already understood whatever we have discussed in this session, right? If you have any doubt, please write it down in the chat box. Clear, Anna? Chalo. So why lysosomes are called suicidal bags? Who will tell me this answer? Okay, and also please write down the answer in the chat box. Let me see who can give me most of the correct answers now. So why lysosomes are called the suicidal bag, and which organelle is associated with the ribosome formation? Which? Yes, yes, Ashi, you have a doubt. Please write it down in the chat box. What is your doubt? Okay, so the lysosomes are known as the suicidal bag because if the cell's own materials are get damaged or dead, then the lysosome burst out and digest its own cell. That is why it is known as the suicidal bag. So this is very important question. You can get this type of question for 2 marks. Okay, please write down this answer. Okay, now which organelle is associated with the ribosome formation? Yes, it is the nucleolus. Remember, nucleolus is the brain of the nucleus, which is present within the nucleus, and they helps in the formation of the ribosome. Now let us move on to the other question. Name the cell organelle that are not present in mammalian, RBC and prokaryotic cell. Which cell organelle is not present in the prokaryotic cell and the mammalian RBC? Let me see who can give me the correct answer, as well as let's go for the next question also. The cells which do not possess any well-defined nucleus, these cells are primitive without having the membrane-bound organelles. What type of cells are these? Yes, let me see who can give me this answer. Yes, so the first answer will be the the endoplasmic reticulum and Golgi apparatus. These are not present in the prokaryotic cells. Okay, these are the different membrane-bound organelles which are only present in the eukaryotic cell. These are not present in the prokaryotic cell. Fine. And the cell which do not possess any well-defined nucleus are known as the prokaryotic cell. For example, the bacteria, blue-green algae. These are the different types of prokaryotic cell. Clear? Okay, so what is the different type of cell on the basis of the nuclear material found inside? Yes, how can we classify the cell according to whether a proper true nucleus is present in it or not? We can classify them into prokaryotic cell and eukaryotic cell. Very good. So the prokaryotic cell is having no proper nucleus. Okay, prokaryon matlab primitive nucleus, no proper type of nucleus, no well defined nucleus. And the eukaryotic cells are having proper true nucleus. Okay, so you can find this eukaryotic cell in any of the higher plants and animals. Fine. Okay. Now can you tell me why is virus an exception to all the cell theory? We have already studied about the cell theory in the previous session. Remember? So why do you think this virus is not accepting, or it is not correct with the statements which were given in the cell theory? So what is the cell theory first? Think and remind it. Okay. So what are they? First of all, cell theory states that the cells are present within the living organism, within all living organism. Secondly, we can say that, very good Sailendra, yes, eukaryotic. Okay, so second thing is that all the living organisms are made up of cells, and these are the fundamental unit or the structural and functional unit of all the living organisms, right? And thirdly, we have seen that the cells comes from the already pre-existing cells, right? Now virus is the exception. Hi Ashi, hi beta. Okay, so what is the exception? That the virus cannot divide outside the host body, right? They do not have any membrane and therefore do not show any of the characteristic features of the living organism. But when they enter within the living organism, just think about the COVID-19 virus, right? So when they enter the living organism, then they utilize the machinery, whatever cell machinery is present within the living organism, and start their mechanism, start all their function. So this cell theory is not true for the virus, always remember. And that is why we cannot place the virus totally into the non-living thing or totally into the living thing, because it becomes living when they enter within the body, within any other living organism's body. But outside the living organism's body, they do not perform their function, or the cell division, reproduction, any sort of thing does not happen in case of the virus. Clear up to this much? Okay, so this is all about the virus. And next question is, where are genes located? Yes, where are the genes located? Genes are located within the nucleus, right? So mainly they are present in the chromosomes, which are again present within the nucleus of the cell. So all the cells are having their nucleus, and within their nucleus they are having the chromosomes. Within the chromosomes, genes are present. Yes, very good Sailendra. Virus cannot reproduce on their own. Exactly. Now let us move on to the homework. So let me give you some of the question for your homework. Right, so what are the question? Please write down the question and I'll ask you the answer in the next class. Okay, so hopefully you will do the homework. So my first question is, what is the characteristics of the nuclear envelope? We have already studied about the nucleus, right? So you will be able to write it down, I guess. Next is, where does the ATP synthesis occur in mitochondria? Then then you have to write what would happen if the plasma membrane ruptures or breakdown, and why our lysosomes are known as the suicide bag. Very important question of this. Okay, so please do the homework and let us see what we have already studied today. We have studied about the nucleus based on the presence of a true nucleus, we can divide the cells into two main types. True nucleus is found mainly in the eukaryotic cell, and false nucleus, or when the nucleus is not present properly, we call it as the prokaryotic cell. Now, what are present within the nucleus? Chromatin, nucleolus, and the other different materials like nucleoplasm and a boundary, that is the nuclear membrane. So, chromatin contains the genetic information, and the nucleolus helps in the formation of the ribosome. Clear hai? Then we have studied about the cytoplasm. Cytoplasm is the fluid which is present within the cell. This cytoplasm contains the various types of cell organelles. So we have studied about the 3 cell organelles, endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi bodies, and lysosome in today's session. So Endoplasmic reticulum is again divided into two types, smooth ER and rough ER. Smooth ER helps in synthesis of lipid and rough ER helps in the synthesis of protein. Clear hai? Then we have studied about the Golgi apparatus. So the Golgi bodies helps in the transportation of the materials, packaging of the materials, formation of lysosome and formation of the different complex sugar. And then we have studied about the lysosomes, which are formed from the Golgi bodies, and they are known as the suicidal bag of the cell because they digest all the worn out dead cell materials. Right? So this is all we have discussed today in today's session. We will again come and meet with you in the next session. So thank you very much for being with us. Thank you for being with me and Swiflearn. So who have already subscribed our channel, that's fine. Who have not subscribed, please subscribe our channel on YouTube and press the bell icon and never miss any of the update of the upcoming session. So stay with Swiflearn and learn with Swiflearn. So please like, comment and share with your friend and family members. So we will again meet in the next session. So till then, bye bye, take care, stay safe and stay healthy. Bye bye.